Hey there, this is Jacob's Bible. We're in Job chapter 5. We're studying what is believed to be the oldest book in the Bible, and that is Job. And right now, Job has three friends comforting him. They just spent 3 days with him, not saying a word, 7 days with him, not saying a word because of Job's torment. And then after that time, Eliphaz begins opening his mouth and claims this. Says, "Consider now who, being innocent, has ever perished." In other words, Eliphaz is giving claim to karma. If you do bad, then you'll get bad things. If you do good, then you do good things. Well, that's not the case here with Job. And God is illustrating that and exposing the lie of karma and other things. God's purposes are plentiful. But one of the things that God is doing here is allowing Job, who is faithful and righteous and doing good in the sight of God, to go through suffering and turmoil and hard things. He had his servants killed. His flocks were destroyed. He was stolen from. Enemies on all sides, kind of thing. And so that's where we enter into Job chapter 5. Eliphaz is still talking and giving his advice and counsel and wisdom to Job. And so here we are. Pick it up in chapter 5, verse 1. "Call, if you will, but who will answer you? To which of the holy ones will you turn? Resentment kills a fool, and envy slays the simple. I myself have seen a fool taking root, but suddenly his house was cursed. His children are far from safety, crushed in court without a defender. The hungry consume his harvest, taking it even from among thorns, and the thirsty pant after his wealth. For hardship does not spring from the soil, nor does trouble sprout from the ground. Yet man is born to trouble as surely as sparks fly upward. But if it were I would appeal to God. I would lay my cause before him. He performs wonders that cannot be fathomed, miracles that cannot be counted. He bestows rain on the earth. He sends water upon the countryside. The lowly he sets on high, and those who mourn are lifted to safety. He thwarts the plans of the crafty so that their hands achieve no success. He catches the wise in their craftiness, and the schemes of the wily are swept away. Darkness comes upon them in the daytime. At noon they grope as in the night. He saves the needy from the sword in their mouth. He saves them from the clutches of the powerful. So the poor have hope, and injustice shuts its mouth. Blessed is the man whom God corrects. So do not despise the discipline of the Almighty." So here Eliphaz is saying and claiming that God is disciplining Job, when in fact we know that this is not a case of discipline. This is something going on behind the scenes in Job's life, in the unseen atmosphere of the spirit between Satan and God is allowing these situations in Job's life. But Eliphaz doesn't know that either, and so is giving his best understanding of the situation from his wisdom and from his knowledge. And it's not really helping the situation because it is not accurate. So, going on, Eliphaz continues. Verse 18, he says, "For he wounds, but he also binds up. He injures, but his hands also heal. From 6 calamities he will rescue you. In 7 no harm will befall you." I'm going to say this and probably offend a lot of people, but Eliphaz here to me sounds like a modern day pastor. Tells you how he thinks it is, how it should be, how God's going to act, when in fact we don't know who God's going to be in an hour from now. We don't know who God is going to be. He's consistent. He's the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow, but who knows who God is tomorrow? He's the same God, of course, but who knows who he's going to be in his actions, in his words, and how he's going to regulate the earth and run the universe. Who knows? So anyway, I see Eliphaz as just a modern day pastor saying things about God and is off in a lot of areas. But anyway, verse 19, From 6 calamities he will rescue you. In 7 no harm will befall you. In famine he will ransom you from death, and in battle from the stroke of the sword. You will be protected from the lash of the tongue and need not fear when destruction comes. You will laugh at destruction and famine, and need not fear the beasts of the earth. For you will have a covenant with the stones of the field, and the wild animals will be at peace with you. You will know that your tent is secure. You will take stock of your property and find nothing missing. You will know that your children will be many and your descendants like the grass of the earth. So Eliphaz is continuing. He's kind of preaching a prosperity gospel here in a sense. He's saying if you have a good life and you do all these things and are in good standing with God, then you'll have all these results as a benefit. And that's not true, especially in Job's case. We see that. So anyway, we'll continue on with this. Verse 23. For you will have a covenant with the field. Oh, we did that. Verse 24. You will know that your tent is secure, and you will take stock of your property and find nothing missing. You will know that your children will be many, and your descendants like the grass of the earth. You will come to the grave in full vigor, like sheaves gathered in season. We have examined this, and it is true. Is it? So hear it and apply it to yourself. So Job's 3 friends have examined all that Eliphaz has said, and they say it is true. And it's not. And that is warning for us to be careful what we're listening to. There were a lot of good things said about God in here. And a lot of good things that were said that will take place in your life as a result. Like you'll laugh at destruction and famine. I don't know if that's a laughing matter, but anyway, verse 5 is a warning to us about who we're listening to.